this meeting
More
with Happy
instructions
Hanukkah
later
to
and
our
emails.
brothers and sisters of the Jewish faith. Merry Christmas to our brothers and sisters of the Christian faith. We recognize all holidays in this party. So with that, I'd like everybody to get up. We're going to, unfortunately, I have to tell you right away, Don is ill today. So we'll keep him in our prayers. But I do need somebody, Dan, who will be able to start the...
Get out of here.
Okay,
I was
so
watching Adam Sandler cut the
I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There you go. Joan? Our little elf. That's not politically incorrect, is it?
No, not with us. Just want to thank everybody for coming. It's so wonderful being with all of you all the time. And I have the honor of doing the prayer today. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for all our blessings. Thank you for allowing us to live in this wonderful country. May we continue and be able to be a hope and a help for our country at this time. In your heavenly name, in Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Amen. Did you bring a
Beautiful. So, thank you all. Take a seat. Thank you all so much for being here. Looks like a light crowd, but maybe people are out Christmas shopping, trying to keep the economy going. Trying. It's actually going to be a light party tonight. We do have some house cleaning that we want to take care of for the end of the year. I hope you all got my last email of 2013. Seriously, you did? Okay, if you're not getting the emails, please see Jimmy and make sure he has your appropriate email address. Thank you for letting me know. Or Danny. The first thing I'd like to do is recognize each and every one of you. Every month you come to these meetings. Every month you participate, whether silently or vocally. You get out there when you can. The media will tell you over and over that we're dead, except when something goes wrong, then it's the Tea Party's fault. They can't get it straight. And they call us crazy, but okay. But you're here, and we will continue. We will get stronger. We will educate. In fact, one of us is going to come up tonight and tell us about his conversation with his daughter, right? Yay. And that's what I'm hoping tonight will happen tonight, that every one of you who has something that you can tell us that will inspire us, encourage us, come up tonight. We're going to have dancing, we're going to have some housekeeping, but we're going to have fun tonight. But again, I just want to thank you. Danny wants to thank you. Steve wants to thank you. Robert wants to thank you. Jason wants to thank you. Denise, Marilyn, if she were here, Bill and Donna. We thank you for everything that you do with us that helps make us stronger. So we're going to start off. One more announcement that I'd like to make. You all know Jimmy, the silent one over there. You know, they say, watch out for the silent ones. Well, that's true. Because tonight, Jimmy gave us a beautiful Christmas card. And inside that card was a nice, crisp $100 bill for the Tea Party. I told Jimmy I was going to embarrass him. Thank you so much. And that's what it's all about. So thank you. Steve, I'd like you to come up and do your little thing.
Which one of mine?
Your treasurer's report.
That should take 5 seconds, right? That's enough. 5 minutes.
No, I can take my time for a second then, Robert. Merry Christmas, everybody. After our big, expensive, massive month of, 2 whole checks, we paid our insurance, so we're good, and at the moment we are covered. And we currently have $391.22. End of report. Short enough for you, Robert?
But Steve will be back, and I know we've been together, how many years, Dan, has this club been together?
Probably I think would be March of 2009.
Okay. As you all know, Steve does have,
Technically, it would be May of 2006.
the first March.
2 years before the president, who I can't say his name.
Yeah, we want to have a Holly Charlie evening tonight, so we won't mention his
That would have been
name.
the Jackson Tea Party.
Right.
So that's how long we've been going.
Okay, Jason, come on up, Jason. Jason has a great idea that I'm hoping everybody will want to participate in.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's enough, sit down.
Oh, shut up. You can still have your job back if you want. Got a couple ideas that we're floating around for 2014. I'll go briefly into them, but we have one last event that we're going to be doing for the end of the year in December. I'm sure a lot of you know what flash mobs are and how popular and how visible they are when they're done. We have some ideas on doing one for the Tea Party to get our name out there and get our visibility. What we're going to be doing is taking it, it's going to be occurring at the Freehold Mall. The date's going to be this coming Sunday at 2 p.m. Further details will be sent out in either emails and or Facebook, but at Dick's Sporting Goods in the parking lot of Freehold Mall. The basic gist of it is we're all going to get together and I believe sing either God Bless America or some sort of patriotic song or kind of gather and kind of chant, whatever. So we're going to get together again Sunday, 2 p.m. at Dick's Sporting Goods at the Freehold Mall. More details are going to be put out on the Facebook group page or the email address. Again, if you are not on Facebook, it's a very good idea to sign up, join the East Jersey Tea Party group. A lot of information is put out on there, not only for the meetings, but also for the events and other happenings that take place in the state and in the group. Also, again, as Joellen said, if you're not on the email list, go ahead and see Jimmy and give your email address, and we'll go ahead and get that information sent out to you. Okay, regarding the events we got for coming to 2014, we brainstormed and had a lot of good ideas. One of them is going to be a day out on the shooting range. We're going to be putting that together in one of the local ranges and have a day of firearms instruction as well as time to shoot around on the range. So I expect some more details to come out in the next month or two in regards to that. Another thing we're going to be doing a little bit more on a regular basis to kind of have some fun and camaraderie within the group. We're going to be having monthly nights of bowling down at Howell Lanes on Route 9. That's going to be the third Thursday of every month. Again, details are going to follow. We're going to look to start that in January. That is the plan. I'm working with Howell Lanes to see if they can give us some sort of, not necessarily a group rate, but more of a bundled rate that will include shoes, the bowling itself, maybe some food. So I'm working with the managers there and hopefully get a better pricing than just the whatever a la carte money you pay as when you're walking off the street. Another idea that we had is Monmouth Park. Everybody just show up on a Saturday. Whether you gamble or not, it's just a time just to get together, wear our shirts, just show people that we're out there. If you want to gamble, by all means, go ahead. I do know that on Sunday mornings, they do, I think more towards the spring and summer, they have a tour that you can go through the paddocks, go through the jockey locker rooms. So that's something fun that we can certainly think of and do some point during the year. And again, as I do more research, I will put more information out on Facebook and email as we get that. Other than that, we have more events coming. As soon as I get them, I will definitely let you guys know. Keep an eye out for emails for the event committee meetings. I'll be holding more meetings for anybody that's interested in coming together and brainstorming and any ideas that we have to kind of make this more fun events to take place. So again, keep an eye out for communications for those, and it's going to be another fun and exciting 2014. We'll hopefully do another Blue Claws baseball game that got a lot of interest. So I'm going to get something done early as soon as possible and get a date out and get the invitation for that out early so we can get a good turnout like we did last year. So other than that, that should be about it.
Thanks, Jason. Just show of hands, how many think they would love to participate in this great idea of a flash mob Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock? You're only going to sing one song and we'll leave.
I thought we were going to do the pledge.
We can do this, okay, the pledge and the song, but the song is what scares people.
8 seconds.
How many? Well, if the Spirit moves us, I'm with you. But at least, can we get a commitment from anybody, or? Alright, you know what? Bring your children. Bring your friends. Come on out, have fun.
How many people do we see in the crowd?
Maybe 10, but hopefully we'll get more.
I'll put it out on Facebook later and start promoting it. Hopefully we can get other people from groups to show up.
Yep. You know what? I keep hearing from many people, we need to do more, we need to do more. We throw out these ideas, so we're throwing them out, but we need people to participate, okay? All right, Dan, you're next.
Your burger's here, by the way.
Oh, it's there? I wondered where it was.
That's it. I was going to invite it, but lucky you, my salad king. Okay, Merry Christmas. I can't hear you. What? Thank you. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.
What?
Did you light your Hanukkah bush?
No, I didn't get one this year.
Did you light all the candles at the same time?
Yeah, it's
Burn a house
easy.
down?
No, you just light one candle. Okay. Real quick, I have a short announcement here about helping some people. Real quick, just listen to this, and you can ignore me for the rest of it. There are 150 families that are signed up for this so-called adopt a family thing. There are 50 families that still need adopting. That would include 22 single seniors, 8 senior couples, 1 family of 6, 4 families of 5, 2 families of 4, 6 families of 3, 6 families of 2, and 6 families of 1. What's that? 6 families of 1. Okay. 3 of which are young children. If you have an interest in adopting a family, Councilman Martin from Jackson and his wife is putting this together for I think the 3rd year. And basically what you're going to do is you'll contact him. They'll send you the list. You can pick, if you can hand deliver it to the person on the list yourself. Or you can deliver it to them and they will deliver it for you. But it's a great opportunity. I saw this and I thought it would be a great idea. I wanted to do the Samaritan's Purse shoebox this year. I missed the boat on that, and we're going to try to do that again next year. But this is also very good, and it's direct, it's local, and it's you and them. So if you want, here's his email address is councilsmartin@aol.com. councilsmartin@aol.com, or you can call him at 732. Yep.
Who is this that's doing this?
It's Councilman Martin from Jackson. councilsmartin@aol.com, or you can call him at 267-0455. 267-0455. And Susan, I would like to do this. You know, I mean, we could adopt a senior couple, I think, or maybe something with kids. No, you don't count. What you'll basically do is you will they have like a wish list, and you can pick from it, and you can get it, you know, get them something. I'm sure it's probably quite modest. This is for Christmas, yes. You would deliver it, not necessarily Christmas Day, of course, but you would deliver it maybe a few days before. Actually, I wouldn't mind doing one of the families with the kids. That would be fun. I'll let her decide. So that's my one announcement. And if you want any more details on that, or you missed the email address, which I gave 6 times, I will. I'll put this out on an email. What do you think? Yeah. Good idea. All right, I'll do that. Another announcement. If anybody hear of the Liberty Amendments? It's a book by Mark Levin. Question? No, you've heard of it. All right, put your hand down. No questions. Any questions? No question. You're not going to fall for that one twice. Anyhow, there's something called the Convention of the States that's going on, and it will not be an open convention. It will not be a constitutional convention where, you know, they could just totally dismantle the Constitution. And I became involved with that, and I'm going to be District 4, Congressional District 4 captain. Thank you. Bill Haney is the state captain. He's trying to put this together, and he'll be looking for volunteers. The district south of us picked up captains from Connie's group, that'd be Ocean County Citizens for Freedom. They cover 2 districts, and we'll be just basically looking for volunteers to lobby our representatives. Speaking of lobbying, we have 2 people who are experts at that right here. Basil and Ron over there. Big hand for them. This is a little off script, but they have something called, what is it called? The American Citizen Lobbyist Group. And what that entails, and they'll send me an email, and I will print out just a 1-sheet thing, and I like an issue flyer. Thank you. Little tongue-tied is where my tang gets all tangled up. And I will hand deliver it. My guy is Singer, Assemblyman Singer, and the basic idea is to get the information to him, get to know the staff, and just, you know, let them know that we are watching them. That's basically it, right? Dorothy is doing Ocean County? What are you doing, Dorothy? Okay, you're doing the 30th district? John?
I do the 10th.
He's doing the 10th. Who else? Who are you doing, Denise? 11th. I should have said that. Okay, anybody? I'm sorry. Merry Christmas. If anybody's interested in participating in this, I know.
I'm sending the tape to MSNBC.
Good. Send it to Sean Hannity. I don't care. If you're interested, see Ron or Basil over here. Could you raise your hands? They're looking for a few more volunteers always, right? Okay. So there we covered the Convention of the States and the lobbying. There's another effort. I told you about the effort to try to unite the state that occurred, and it didn't quite go off so well. There is another effort that's going to happen on January 11, and it's a smaller group of people, and we're going to try to put something together and then invite other groups to join us. Theory being, too many cooks spoil the broth. You know, when you put 100 patriots in a room, you're going to get 200 ideas, and everybody's, you know, it's just going to be a mess. So we're going to try it yet again, and we will eventually get this right. I have my ideas. This is the whole plan to unite the state on this one piece of paper here. And are you eating still? Good. Okay, I'll keep talking. It's basically a 6-step plan to let the communication people from each group work together to develop a weekly newsletter to send out to their own groups, and they will use their own email list. So there's no sharing of emails, which is always a big concern with Tea Party people. Don't give my email address out. I don't give any information out. If you need to contact another person through me, I'll have them contact you, and you can do it that way. I'm very strict with that.
You're right, the NSA's got it anyway.
I am not the NSA, and I don't like them. You can contact me right through the info at East Jersey Tea Party. I still monitor all that email every day, all day. I do, right through my phone.
So does the NSA.
That's okay. The second point would be the groups, as I said, groups would use their own email lists. No need to share that information. The third point would be policy wonks from each group would work together to track what's going on and forward the information to their groups to make phone calls. This would unite the groups in our efforts. Everybody suddenly, all the assembly people are getting phone calls from all over the state at the same time. Something's going on. It was like, oh my goodness. Everybody seems to be, on the same page all of a sudden, and that's the idea, to get us all on the same page at the same time. Another thing would be to develop a simple calendar that events can be posted statewide so that we're not stepping on each other. So when Middlesex is having an event with the county fair, we can either join them or know enough not to schedule something on those weekends. They're doing it. We're going to just get ourselves simply coordinated. That's all, as far as I'm concerned. Other people want to, tackle elections. They want to do all kinds of stuff. I just want to coordinate the group's efforts, and if we can do that, it would be really, really huge. It would be big for us. The name of the group. Don't need a name. We don't need a name. We don't have to tell anybody we're doing this. You can erase that from the tape.
From what tape?
That tape. That's exactly right. We don't need to tell anybody we're doing this. We just have to do it. We don't need a name. We don't need anything special. We just have to step forward and coordinate our efforts and keep our mouths shut and do it. And I think it'll be have a big effect. The last one is as we get ourselves coordinated, we'll have some sort of a structure that will make this all happen, and everybody will be happy. And at that point, and I hope it's very soon, we will start asking other groups to join us who match our goals and temperament. It's important that they do match our goals and they do match our temperament, because all groups don't have the same goals or the same temperament. I'm not going to get into the temperament thing, but I'm tempted to say, well, everybody's not a rhino, okay? Every Republican is not a rhino. There are some good ones, and there's some not so good ones. For instance, Scott Garrett would be the top of my list of one of the most conservative senators, congressmen from our state. And the scale goes down from there. So at what point will you not tolerate we begin calling this person a rhino? And that is a big bone of contention among a lot of groups. If he doesn't give me 100%, I'm done with him. I'm personally not that way. If I can get a big chunk of it, I'll take it, and we'll work on the rest of it. So that's the effort that's going to happen on January 11th, and I hope it works. God, I pray it works. There are a lot of different emails flying back and forth, but the one goal from the guy who's coordinating this, again, Bill Aney, where is it? The primary goal, and he's got a bunch of them, and I don't think we'll get to any of them but past the first one, but is that we create an agreement that we will work together as one unified group. So, wish us luck on this. Things are happening. You may not look at, it's going to be quiet for another month. Christmas is coming. But behind the scenes, there are a lot of patriots doing a lot of work trying to pull this thing together so we get it right for 2014. Thank you very much. And Merry Christmas, huh?
And keep it clean next time, you. Okay, come on, really, is there anybody more inspiring than Dan in this group? Really? I mean, the guy, Dan, you're the best. Thank you. And by the way, Dan, happy 29th birthday.
Thank you.
Let's sing happy birthday. It's Dan's birthday on the 3rd. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dan. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Okay. You know, by the way, this is Steve's going to come up and give us a beautiful history of Christmas, but I wanted to say we're here together, we support each other, so let's start supporting each other business-wise. Starting next year, we're going to bring up somebody who works, like Marianne's a realtor. Marianne will introduce herself, give out her cards. It's time we start giving back to each other and start helping Tea Party members profit and not the enemy. So that's going to be our, there you go, thank you. Good idea? Good. Okay. That's our goal. We start next January, so bring your business cards. If you want to be involved in that, just give me your business cards and we're going to start doing that. Okay? We got Steve coming up.
Again.
Okay. Well, in honor of it being December, I thought I would tell you a little bit about the Christmas story. And Robert's over there panicking because I'm going to talk about God again. And I am. But it's not the story that you're used to. If you want to catch that, by all means. Obviously, we all are going to be in that Christmas season, so hopefully people will not be afraid to hear about Christmas and talk about Jesus and his birth. Anybody wants to hear that story, I'll be happy to tell it later. But I want to tell you a story about Christmas about 1,776 years later. Another Christmas. So some of you might be familiar with that. That was, of course, something that happened right here in the state of New Jersey. And that was Washington's crossing the Delaware for the Battle of Trenton. Him and his army had kind of been ragtag bunch of rebels going back and forth. They'd had a rough year. The revolution had only been about a year in. They had taken several pretty bad defeats, and things were not looking too good. They had no money. They had really no trained army. The only cannons they had were from one of their only successes earlier in the year, where they had taken over Saratoga and shipped those cannons down to Boston Harbor. At that point, they actually held siege of Boston, and the British were quite upset by this, and they thought, we're not going to lose to these guys, so they actually evacuated the city to save face and headed towards Nova Scotia. This was a good idea, and of course Washington didn't buy it. He said, what am I going to do with this? He said, there's no way they're going to just give up and let us win this and do this. He said, what would be a really strategic move for them? And he suspected, right, they were going to head for New York Harbor. So Washington packed up his army, marched them all the way down to New York Harbor, built entrenchments, and tried to barricade themselves in over New York. And they did, and they held it for a little while, but after 9,000 more British regulars came in, they were severely outnumbered, and eventually the tide turned, and they were going to have to evacuate. God intervened and stepped in. When things looked like they were going to be over, and the revolution might be coming to an end, he sent a nice rainstorm. And a bunch of New England men from Marblehead evacuated 9,000 troops on flat boats across New York Harbor in the middle of the night, and not a single one was lost. The only thing they lost was some entrenchments and some of the cannons that they could not get across. So Washington and his men put their tail between their legs basically and started marching across New Jersey. And unfortunately, Fort Washington fell and Fort Lee fell, and over 2,500 U.S. soldiers were captured at that point. Many of them would die on British prisoner vessels. They were probably the worst place you would ever end up. At that point, most of the people that were captured were not treated well. There was disease, they were starved, they were beaten. more people died in British prison ships than died on the battlefield. And that's the way it was. So for the rest of the year, from March through November, Washington zigzagged back and forth, losing battle after battle, being discouraged, losing troops, losing cannon, losing horses, and eventually was afraid they were going to lose the war because he only had about a month left, and what was going to happen was everybody was going to go home. And when their enlistments were up, that was going to be it. Where was he going to get more money? Where was he going to get more troops? And the people were going to be out of luck. So about that time, early in December, I think it was the 9th of December, they got themselves to the Delaware River and crossed. They burned every boat that they did not need and evacuated and set up troops on the other side. It was a cold winter. It was starting early. We do get some cold snaps here in December. We haven't had quite a few of them recently, but those were a couple of very particularly cold winters. It began to snow the week before Christmas, and ice floes were starting to form in the Delaware. Anybody that's driven out to Trenton, it's not often you see the Delaware freeze over these days. It's been a long time. You have to be a little bit older than myself to see that. So there it was. Ice floes were coming down. Washington had less than 2 weeks. What am I going to do? He called his officers in and said, we need a bold plan. It's all or nothing. We're going to go down, or we're going to go down swinging. Right across the river, several miles away, some of the fiercest fighting men, mercenaries, the Hessians, had set up camp in Trenton. 1,500 of the toughest, roughest bunch of fighters, very well-trained military men, were sitting right across the river. Washington, basically outgunned, outmanned, outtrained. His men had no shoes, no boots, no stockings, and they had to go over there with less than 2 weeks left in their enlistment, and they're going to go and fight people on Christmas Day. So Washington and his men come up with Christmas Day, and their battle cry was victory or death. Victory or death was it. That was their password. So if you were caught, if you wanted to let them know you were a rebel, you were on their side, victory or death was the password. So they did decide to move on Christmas Day. God again intervenes. It starts to snow again, and sleet, and rain, freezing rain. Washington now has to mobilize all of his men, 2,500 of them, march them several miles upriver, get them all into these flat boats that you've seen, and they're not quite like the pictures we see painted. They're 60 foot long, 8 foot wide, and really low drafting, about yay high. They have 50 cannons, and I don't know how many horses. They're loading on these boats with the men. And of course, all you have to do is spook the horse, and then they all go and they're going to drown and freeze to death in the water. So this is a very brave and brazen move. The goal was to be crossing over the river and be across the other side by midnight, so that they can make trek down south to Trenton and catch them by surprise. This does not happen, and all of the men were not formally across the other side until after 3 a.m. 3 hours behind, Washington decides, we've come this far and it's all or nothing, we're going to proceed. Unbeknownst to him, 2 other armies were supposed to be moving in from the south. They never make it. One army never gets across the river and abandons their post. They were supposed to go in and attack Bordentown as a distraction. That does not happen. Another army does cross over. Ewing, which is named after General Ewing, they make it across, and the other one's Cadwalder. Maybe you've seen some of the signs over there for Cadwalder Park in Trenton. He makes it over, but his cannon can't make it, so he decides to evacuate, and he takes all 2,500 of his men back across the river without ever marching on Trenton. Washington now, at 4 a.m., is marching south towards Trenton. The Hessians have been alerted, so they now know that Washington is coming, and they were kind of on standby, but God intervenes yet again. Not only is the weather turning, and they think, well, maybe they're not going to go for it, because, these guys can't be that stupid to come in and attack us in the freezing rain with this ragtag bunch, that the Hessian colonel in charge, Johann Rahl, the colonel, calls them a bunch of country clowns. These country clowns are not going to come in here in the snow, in the rain, and fight us on Christmas. This is just ridiculous. But, much to his surprise, nobody still knows the definite, or not the definition, but the actual people that perpetrated this, but a small band of less than 24 men during the middle of the afternoon come out and actually start attacking the Hessians, and then they flee into the woods. So the Hessians actually think this is the big attack that was coming. So they laugh about it, and they let their guard down. So the night continues on. Rahl and his men are partying. There are some discrepancies. Again, these are trained fighting men, and so whether or not they were actually drunk and really partying or not is of great dispute, because again, it's kind of like the Roman soldiers that might have been falling asleep outside of Jesus' grave. That was a death sentence for any soldier that fell asleep or was partying or drunk on duty. So that's most likely not what happened, but they were partying. A touring farmer shows up, excuse me, shows up that afternoon and decides he's going to warn the Hessians. They won't let him see Colonel Rawl because he's busy partying and taking part in the Christmas festivities. So as the time goes by, he writes him a letter. The letter comes in that evening as he's playing cards. Again, not wanting to be bothered, thinks it's not a big deal, and doesn't have it translated from English into German so that he can read it. He goes to bed without the extra warning, and at 4 a.m., Washington is still marching south. They separate into two different groups. The one group is going to go towards Pennington Road, down towards Princeton. Washington and Nathaniel Greene take the River Road, which is right along the river. As they're proceeding south, the rain, of course, has now soaked all of their gunpowder. And so Washington gives the order to use bayonets. We're not turning back. He's determined, and that is the order given. About 8 a.m., just before 8 a.m., they finally reach Trenton, 5 hours behind schedule, and they have their first interaction. The Hessians wake up, guns are firing, cannons are firing, everybody's scrambling. The streets are muddy and snow covered. They're tripping, they're falling, they can't get themselves organized, and as a result, Henry Knox, who we've all heard of, our first cabinet member for the Secretary of War, sets up his cannons and starts mowing them down in the streets. Within less than 90 minutes, the battle is over, and Colonel Rawl is mortally wounded. Over 800 men of the Hessians were either captured or wounded or murdered. Or I shouldn't say murdered, but killed in the battle. So these men had about 500 who were able to escape. The other 1,000, almost 900, were captured or were killed. At that point, Washington checks his casualties. It comes in at 8. Four men wounded. So if that was not an act of God, this ragtag bunch of people, almost discovered 3 or 4 times, marched down there under the cover of snow, fight one of the toughest fighting forces ever assembled to that point, and they lose 8 men, and they take Trenton. Washington was going to move on, but at that point he does get informed that the other troops never made it from the south, so he decides, I'm going to cut my losses at this point, I'm not going to march on Princeton. He sails back across the river and sets up winter quarters. Most of his men do not evacuate at that point, some go home until spring, but they all re-enlist. He gets more troops, more money, and some other countries finally start looking our way and say, hey, maybe these guys have a chance after all. And so that was the Christmas miracle of 1776.
Fort Washington, tell them where they are because they don't know. They may not, and there is a recreation that goes on in December.
There is a recreation actually of the crossing of the Delaware each year in Trenton, and so you can go out there and watch them, and they'll tell you some of the history of Washington crossing the Delaware on Christmas Day, which is good. And Fort Lee, of course, is Fort Lee, New Jersey, right across the river from New York City. And Fort Washington, I'm not sure, is that actually technically Brooklyn? It's in Manhattan, right? Is it Manhattan or Brooklyn? I don't know, New York. I forget.
That's Washington in Manhattan.
Either way. Huh?
Fort Washington is in Manhattan.
It's in Manhattan, okay. I wanted to make sure.
Northern suburb in Manhattan.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm from Jersey, I'm proud of it. Either way, we lost Washington and we lost Fort Lee, but it did take a while. There are reenactments. There's certainly more history you can look up, and I strongly encourage you to do so. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you.
Every time I come to this meeting,
Just in case anybody wants to, and there's any kids or grandkids, there's a new book providentially provided for me when I was walking through the bookstore when I had already decided to do this talk. The Crossing by Jack Levin. Mark Levin's father wrote this book just this year about the crossing. And I said, well, I got to get it. So anybody knows any kids and grandkids, Christmas is coming. Here you go. Merry Christmas.
My grandkids love it. okay? Do you publish that?
So, once again, we learned something
think
each
so.
month here
Threshold, it
that
says?
is vital to our endeavor to restore America. And we're going to do that with the youth. We are going to do that with the youth. So, Tom, I'm going to ask you to come up and tell us about your conversation with your college-age daughter.
Okay, Joellen put me on the spot here, so I don't have anything planned, and Steve was a tough act to follow. So start off with, I have 2 kids in college, so if I'm not giving any contributions, I know why. The question I asked Joellen was, how much does it cost to turn your kid into a liberal? Anybody know? Well, I can tell you my personal answer, $225,000. My daughter was kind of middle of the road through high school, and now she's anyway, I had the conversation with her about the Tea Party. She knows I'm a member, and she often says, "What do you guys do there? You're a bunch of old farts, and what do you do?" And I told her one of the main things we do is, and what I was amazed when I first joined, is how much we do is charitable things for veterans and their families. And she was kind of speechless when I said
Hold the mic a little
so,
closer.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't want to go. So anyway, and the conversation I had with Joellen was, I feel like we need to present ourselves. We get a bad rep, and clearly we all know it's false. And I think we need to do a better job of PR. And I agree with you, Joellen, that we need to keep pulling forward, but I think we need to, whether it's letters to the editor or, I think it's in the knowledge. For instance, I read something the other day in the Washington Times, great paper by the way. Do you know that Joe Biden has Secret Service, like he should? Those Secret Service folks live in his Delaware mansion, in a little home in front of it, a little cabin or something. He charges them rent, $2,000 a month. And the article I read talked about, well, it's with everything going on, of course, he charges them rent. They're protecting him. So this is the kind of stuff that you don't hear in the media. You hear, how bad the Tea Party is. One last thing I want to say is, again, knowledge. Explain things to people. I just read a book by an Iraqi general named Georges Sada, and it's called Saddam's Secrets. And this guy, by the way, is a Christian. He's not a Muslim, and he is actually. You have to read the book, but it fully explains what happened to the WMDs.
They flew them out, right?
Yeah. They're in Syria. I'm not going to give you all the facts. I want you to read it. It's a short read. It's an inexpensive book. By the way, the book's been out since like 2006. I guess the media missed that one, but it fully explains. And when you read the book, you'll understand that at the highest levels in our government, they all know this. They all know this. So when they tell you that Bush lied, they know full well they're lying. Anyway, I'm sorry?
Name of the book again?
Saddam's Secrets. Sada. S-A-D-A. Georges Sada is the guy's name. So I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, tell us.
I've got a long way to go. But 4 years of college, or she'll graduate in May. I pray she gets a job. I think once she gets a job and she starts to see what her net check is, maybe I'll start to bring her back to where she was in high school.
Still on your insurance?
After how many years of paying your health insurance?
She is still on my insurance. She's still on my cell phone. She's still on my auto insurance. Can I keep going? Yeah, you got it. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
So what I'm going to do, because it is a party, I'd like to invite anybody who wants to come up, take the microphone and advance their cause. I'd love Basil or Ron to come up and advance their cause when they're done eating. But we do have a couple of raffles. We're going to pass along the bucket there. But we do have 2 beautiful gifts. And Tom, it's so ironic that you talk about the media. How many heard of what, what's his name on MSN, or MSLSD did? I won't even pronounce his name. He's so low. What he did to Sarah Palin. And did anybody see that classy governor on Fox and Friends this morning? Was she not 100% class? Sarah Palin. They hate Sarah because she is a good person. And you know what? We support the good people. So here we go. Sarah's Christmas book. Good tidings, great joy. Is one of you lucky people going to win this? You can put it under your Christmas tree and...
Hold a second.
Put it, no, actually, let's have it.
Joe, did you get a ticket?
Yes, he did. So again, what I will continue to ask everybody, not everybody's going to win Sarah's book.
It's Stan's birthday, I figured.
Go out and buy Sarah's book for Christmas. Let's show the liberal media we do support our own. Buy Glenn Beck's new book. Buy Rush Limbaugh's new book. I am a Roman Catholic. I did not find it insulting what he said about the Pope.
I didn't either.
I didn't. So, the lucky winner for Governor Palin's Good Tidings and Great Joy is 278-328.
Joan wins again! Joan wins!
If she wins again, Basil won. Right on, Basil. That's awesome. Now, I'm going to tell the story, Basil. Basil and I both have a very dear friend, 2 dear friends by the name of Gus and Andrea. They own a Benjamin Moore paint store. They're suing Warren Buffett. So, if you all, again, let's try to support each other. If you all need paint, go to their paint store. What is it?
Capital Paint Supplies. Their local store here is in Cold Snack.
In Cold Snack on Route 34.
Yes, on Route 34.
They want to become members. They're just so overwhelmed with everything. But that's what I'm saying. Let's support each other. Do you have Gus's business card by chance? No. We'll bring that in next month. But Basil, here you go. We have one more, thanks to John. John, a great letter writer. Tom, you want a great letter writer? John. But you know what, Tom's right. Let's get more letters out to the editors. Please, let's really work on that, okay? So, random. John's book is The New Founders. What would George Washington think of the United States today?
Stayed home.
Say that again?
He has stayed home.
He would have stayed home. John? Come on up, John.
I forgot to do that. The authors of that book were at I was at a Morristown Tea Party event. And the authors of that book were there. They gave a little talk. So I bought it. It's a really great book. It's a novel, but it's really a great book. So I hope whoever wins it enjoys it.
And we're going to do, Dan had a great suggestion. I think it was 2 months ago. If you're done with these books and you want to keep donating them back to the club so we can just keep raffling off, it's a lot of fun. We'll be our own library. We'll be a capitalist library, not a government-run library. So who's the winner?
There is me.
No.
Hey, Joe, she wins again.
Fix.
278-314. 314.
Go again, they're not here.
Oh, wait a minute, I don't have my ticket out.
It's gotta be you, you're the only one that's
Okay, what do we want?
278.
314.
314.
Thank you. I wait as usual.
So here we go. We have a letter from Deborah Smart. Tea Party falsely depicted by the mainstream media. Come on up. You gotta read it now. Come on. Be brave. Be bold. George Washington's men walked across the Delaware and
This is a long thing. I'm always amazed at the mainstream media's spin in electronic and print form. There's been an assault on the Tea Party lately, and the spin is that the Tea Party is extreme. What's even more incomprehensible is that people are actually buying the media's descriptions, and there is a parroting of this message over and over again. Sometimes when messaging is constantly repeated, it is taken as truth, when in fact it is the opposite. I was curious, so I Googled the Tea Party mission. Can the American people really allow the media and the so-called progressive and moderate establishment to lead them to believe that a mission dedicated to no more bailouts, reduction in the size of government, halting the intrusiveness of government, diminishing and reducing taxes, repealing Obamacare, stopping government excessive spending, standing by the principles of the U.S. Constitution and restoring America's prosperity is extreme? These outlying positions seem rational, not extreme. By the way, Wikipedia describes the Tea Party as a combination of conservative, libertarian, and populist. At this point in history, we need to reduce taxation, reduce government spending, stop taking away Americans' liberty and freedom, abide by our U.S. Constitution, stop the runaway train of Obamacare that will bankrupt us, and restore prosperity by letting Americans keep more of what they earn rather than promote government policies of legal plunder. There is nothing extreme with this direction and policies. Americans must not fall for the false messaging of the establishment.
That was great. See?
This was the press, and I don't even buy it.
That's even better.
What date? It was Thursday, November 7th.
November 7th.
Is that the press?
The press that she doesn't even buy.
The lady at work gets it. I get it. I look through the editorials, the comics, and the other stuff, because I won't buy it.
See?
But
that's what we're talking about. Get those letters out. Educate, educate, educate. We can do it. Now, Robert's got an endeavor that he is hoping to launch by next week. So, Robert, come on up. Again, anybody who wants to come on up and speak. And then we're going to have some dancing.
Hello, everybody. John, please leave, John. You're not wanted here anymore.
Happy Hanukkah!
Thank you. I've been working on a project for the past year where everyone has been talking about trying to get things more organized and better done here. I have created an internet media network similar to Glenn Beck's show, but more related to what's going on in city, county, and state. First starting here in New Jersey, for New Jersey, but I know it's going to quickly explode into other states. Like Ron Bass and the gentleman here, what you're trying to get out, your message, you can get out on my network. It's a combination of live streaming and recorded videos. There are blogs embedded in the site. I'm going to be having a link for people that are looking for jobs or have job openings. If you're going to be looking to sell something, there'll be something in the future like Craigslist. It's more than just a political network. I'm trying to create something that we can have fun and enjoy also. Some of the people that are going to be speaking on the network are as follows right now. Shelley Kennedy will be handling Agenda 21. Frank Fiamingo will be handling all Second Amendment related topics. Dr. Gail Chisholm will be handling immigration. And Dave Corsi, not you, John, well, maybe I'll let you on once in a while, will be handling the fair tax. I spoke to last Tuesday, I went down to the Greenwich Tea Party down in South Jersey. And Brenda is going to be handling Common Core. And meanwhile I was there in their meeting, there's a gentleman named Peter, I forget his last name. He had his 7-year-old son come up and recite the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, which was really dynamite. It brought tears to my eyes, literally, and everyone there. I got a videotape of him, and I'm trying to embed it into the site, but I'm having problems the way he formatted it. I can't do it. So I'm going to try and go back down there. I have to set him up with some other equipment to get ready to go live and re-get that. He's going to be teaching constitutional classes on the network. I'm looking for someone that's interested in teaching us about our American history in the state. I'm looking for all different types of topics that we normally do not hear on the regular media and what we don't see on Glenn Beck. I'm not looking to compete with Glenn Beck. What he does I think is great and phenomenal, but there's certain things that we are missing. I will also be streaming various Tea Party groups throughout the state when they have their meetings. Some of the groups I'm hopefully, like Middlesex County Tea Party has their meetings the same night we do, that we can get changed. So if you miss a meeting and you can't get somewhere, no matter where you are, you can log on to the site and see it. The name of the site is First Amendment TV. It's 1stamendment.tv. So it would be www.1stamendment.tv. I was very lucky to get the name. I tried to get firstamendment.com. Somebody wanted $6,000 for the name. And I figured, let me get a little creative since it's an internet media network, because I have a Twitter page, a YouTube page, and there's going to be a lot more different types of media involved in this. I went with the media as a subtitle in it, but it's First Amendment TV. And I'm hoping to go live next week. I was running into a problem with the site. I thought I had the government building it for me for a while. And we had a hard time getting the archived videos to work. It's basically like a YouTube channel privately into the site. It's right now labeled with 13 categories, which are going to completely expand to a lot more categories. So if you missed something, you can find the video either by date, month, week, topic you can look at. You won't be able to miss anything.
Is it firstamendmenttv.com?
No, it's firstamendment.tv. TV is the prefix, like .com, but it's .tv.
Thank you.
We'll blast that out.
Well, I'm going to be doing an also email blast, so is Shelley Kennedy and all the others. The unfortunate thing that I have to do with this network, because of this simple reason, I'm keeping this network completely commercial free. There is no commercial interruption in any live programming or any pre-recorded programming. For that reason, I have to charge $10 a month. It's going to be paying for my traveling expenses, streaming fees, hosting fees, and other things. Plus, we're going to have quite a few people working for us that are going to be doing this full-time. So I'm also looking for your ideas of what you would like to see on this network. Just because I created it doesn't mean it's my idea. I'm basically the purveyor. If you have some good information, like Ron, your topic you'd like to talk about, you're more than welcome to come on as often as you want, once a week, once a day. You can pre-record stuff, you can have it on there. You can do whatever you want. It's your time, your free speech, your First Amendment. You're more than welcome to talk about it here.
Is it like if I'm interested in a particular subject, I can go on there and click on that channel and see all what...
Yes, like I said, Shelley Kennedy will have her category is Agenda 21. Frank Fiamingo in the category is Second Amendment. I have a Common Core segment. We have a segment that Reverend Matt McKinn was going to do, but I kept forgetting to show up because I was so busy running around after people. But he was going to handle the political implications of Islam, so I hope to go back and re-record those videos with him, and he's going to get into some other topics. I have another woman that I met Tuesday, Susan, I forget her last name, she's up in North Jersey. I think so. She's handling about the implications of Sharia law, on how it's oppressing women, and she's going to be talking about women's rights on the network. So if you have a topic that you want to talk about, and hopefully on a regular basis, not a one-time episode, but even if it's a one-time, and it's something that someone else is not doing now, all you have to do is get in touch with me on info@firstamendment.tv, and I'll get in touch with you. Or if you want, you come get my card, and I'll give you my number to get in touch with me, and we'll work out a scheduling plan, and either I'll come up to visit you to record it, or a lot of this can be done. If you don't have a webcam and you like to do this, get a webcam, preferably a good high-definition webcam. You can get the Logitech C920 going for about $80. It's very good clarity. I have tutorials in the site to teach you how to navigate the site. So if you're computer illiterate and you're afraid about using your computer, you will be able to go to the how-to section on the site in the category list with all the other subjects on how to navigate the site and use a blog, how to locate videos, how to get involved in other things that are going to be in the site. So as I come out with something, there'll be a tutorial to follow it. I also have tutorials on how-to sections on how to do simple little things, like I have one video I made last week. How to drive the liberal media nuts. Are you ready for this great simple idea everyone can do?
I like it.
And it's not going to cost you anything that you're not paying for now already. Your cable box, whether it's on or off, is burning the same amount of electricity. Turn your channel, if you get the Glenn Beck show on Optimum Cablevision or on other networks if you get it, turn it to that channel or turn it to Fox News if you want. Anything but a liberal station. When you go to sleep at night, leave the cable box on that channel, but shut your TV off. So you're not wasting the electricity for the TV. Your cable box is still burning the same amount of electricity. You will boost their ratings drastically, and you will crush the liberal media. They're going to want to know what's going on. So that's what I'm trying to do on this network. If you have ideas, crazy, simple little things, I want to make it fun also, that's what this network is going to be.
I have a question, but I have a comment for what you just said. I had a comment to make a comment what you just said. I read some extreme literature, as we all do, and the site that I read is called Guerrilla Warfare 101. And they talk about monkey warfare, and this is an example of monkey warfare, which you just throw nuts and bolts into their gears, and like what you're talking about is that we do business with each other. I put out a weekly blog, and I called it "Don't Feed the Beast." They could not survive without our money. We support them, and if we stop doing business with them, that would help our cause. But my question to you is your site operational and live right now?
It basically just has 3 pages right now. The home page, which has an opening video of me explaining and introducing the people that are up there. The one I have now, I'm just going to replace a little because I felt I'm chatting a little too much in the beginning of it, and I want to get more to the four people that are talking about their subjects, and then come follow through at the end. So I have that almost done. I just have to load it up. And then there's an About Us page. Yeah, you can look it up right now. It's live. You can see those 3 pages. You can sign on and register if you want right now to create your username and account. Yes. So it is up and running. You can sign up and register anytime you like.
What's the site again?
www.1amendment.tv. First Amendment TV. First Amendment is one word, .tv. I have some cards in my pocket, so if you need to have the address and everything like that, you're more than welcome to have it. I will be sending out emails. Well, I'll ask Dan and Joellen to send out to everyone in the group. All your information on the site, when you purchase the site, I do not see any of that credit card information. It's secured what they call an SSL certificate.
Are you sure?
Positive. Well, yours are my phone. No, I didn't want any part of that information. Plus in the SSL certificate, and plus with the hosting service that handles the banking information, I'm also insured on that end also. So you don't have to worry about it. Your credit card information is completely secure. And if you have any ideas, this is a network for us to get more information out. The other thing I created is we have a lot of young families that can't make our meetings. They can make them on this network. I'm going to create some shows also. I have my friend Stephen, who's handling the financial end of the network. His son I've been convincing to come on and talk about. He's in college, and more about what kids in college are curious about in the movement. And he says, I don't know anything. I says, that's exactly what I want. I want you to ask us questions to get educated. I told him I wouldn't make him look like a fool, but what you don't know and what you will learn will help you. And I think his innocence is a great part of what we need to help get out there and educate people on, and that's what I want. So if you have grandkids, we're going to have programming on there for people, for younger kids, to learn about, hopefully, American history. I can find some good social studies teachers, history teachers, to come on and teach classes on that. We have to start getting information out that we know they're not going to be learning in school. Besides, Common Core, I hope Brenda can do that. And there's so much more going into the site in the quick future that my head is spinning with trying to get it going. So that's what we're going to have. And anything you're interested in doing and being part of on this network, just let me know.
We are going to support you, Robert, so fear not on that. Okay, so we're doing really great in time. We got about a half an hour's worth of... John, you want to come up? I'm going to start walking around with the bucket. And then anybody... Oh, thank you, Steve. Steve's walking around with the bucket.
Okay.
Thank you. The coffee pot, the coffee cup, the coffee whatever, container. And listen, this is your party, this is your club. So Robert's right. If you have any ideas, please come up and espouse them. Don't be timid. We're friends. Actually, at this point, we're family. We're good family. So please come up and voice your concerns. I was going to address next year's agenda of trying to raise money for our club. I think I'll wait till January. But we should try to raise some money and, as always, bring in new members. So, especially the youth, folks.
Thank you, Joellen. Merry Christmas and happy Hanukkah, everybody. Most of you know about the fair tax. This particular Tea Party has been given 2 presentations on the fair tax. And this Tea Party is one of 3 Tea Parties in the state that have passed an amendment supporting the fair tax. We'd like to get many more on board, but that's going to be one of our goals this particular year. So this is kind of an anniversary though, because this is it was 2 years ago on the first Monday in December that we gave the fair tax presentation, myself and Dave Corsi, who Bob mentioned, and we want to thank everybody for the support. I have these signs. I've already got 3 people that have promised to take them, so if anybody else wants one, if you put on your lawn, or if you have a business you'd like to put on, just see me and I'll be glad to give them to you. Thank you very much.
All right, guys, unless anybody wants to come up, I'm going to tell them to put the music on. Up. Oh, Basil, come on up, Ron. Basil?
No, too late, too late. No.
All right,
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, everybody. It's great to be here with everybody. And the East Jersey Tea Party is a great organization. And I first spoke here in March, and I presented this plan that we do, this thing that we do. It's called American Citizens Lobbyist Group. Ron Bass is the national director and the founder. So, amongst 1,000, probably 1 million other things in his head, crammed in his head. But he proposed this idea to me in January. And before this, I was involved with the Tea Party 365 in Manhattan. David Webb was the co-founder of that organization, who's an African-American gentleman. And then I moved to Gotham Tea Party, so I work with Tea Parties, but mainly in New York City. What you guys do here, it's a great thing. But you have to, when you leave this meeting, you have to continue the work that has to be done. You can't just come here and listen to everybody and then go home and feel good. Everybody has to do a little. Some people do a lot. I know we have field reps here. Dorothy, John, Denise, Donna, Joellen, everybody that gets involved. I mean, and yes, I said John. And Dan, sorry, Dan. How can I forget Dan? Sorry. I'll explain a little bit what we do. It's very simple. What is a citizen of the United States today? What are we? They treat us, the government treats us like second-class citizens, peasants. Now, the reason why they could get away with that is because we let them. See? We fell asleep at the wheel in this country. And then all of a sudden we woke up and said, what happened? Why did this happen? Why? Because we're not engaged in the political process. And it's key to keeping this country free and constitutionally sound. So what we do is every week we come up with an issue, which now it's an illegal alien tuition. They're actually contemplating in our state assembly right now to give the illegal children of illegal aliens in-state tuition. Now,
we can't get it.
It's ridiculous because if you think about it, we'll be paying for them and our kids will be left out. So that's the issue that we're working on for the last couple of weeks. What we do is we take this issue flyer and physically deliver it to the 2 assembly people and 1 state senator in each district. There's 40 districts in New Jersey. And it's very simple. See, a lot of people are intimidated by going to their representatives. Less than 30% of the people even know who the representatives are in their district. That's why they're getting away with everything, because nobody knows who they are, and they're passing all these sneaky bills in Trenton. And now, what we're doing is, we're saying, hey, hold on a second. We're watching you now. Everything that you propose, every bill that you come up with, we're watching you. We are either going to agree with you or we're not going to agree with you. What we have to do is best for the people, the hard-working, tax-paying people of the state. No longer it's a free ride and all the freebies that are given out to all these people that don't work. And now all of a sudden the taxpayers are the bad people, the people like us, the Tea Party people and the conservatives. But I mean, really, if you want, sign up. We actually didn't come prepared because we came from someplace, but we usually have sign-up sheets. But if you're interested, and even if you don't want to make a delivery to the state assemblyman or the state senator, get to know who they are. Go to their office. I mean, even the field reps will tell you. You go into the office, you could hear crickets. There's nobody in there. Nobody even knows where they are. They're in these offices all over the state. Now, this idea was proposed in Oklahoma. A woman named Carol Helms came up with this idea. And if you know Oklahoma, it's #1 states' rights. That's what we're fighting for, states' rights. States, in-state rights. Now, the federal government can pass all the laws they want. We have to protect this state, New Jersey state. So what she did was she came up with this idea to lobby citizens, everyday citizens, go to their representatives and tell them, we're watching you, this is what we expect of you. But in Oklahoma, it's a lot easier because all the representatives are in the state house, so it's all one place. So the field reps actually just have to stay in one place. In New Jersey, we have to get all 40 districts covered. So I don't want to go on too long, I don't want to bore you, but if you want, it's really interesting, and if you don't do the deliveries, the issue for delivery, you'll be on the list, and we're going to get this e-blast list. So every time there's an important issue, we're going to email you, and you'll call the representative, and light up those phones. This way they know we're watching them, and we're going to hold them responsible. And if they don't vote like we want them to, throw them out. That's what we're going to do. Thank you. Yeah. Yes.
Go up front, Ron.
Ron's stage shy.
This past Monday, and I think Tuesday or Wednesday, the ACLG sent out, in cooperation with the Tea Parties across the state, one of these blast emails asking people to call their representatives. I'm just curious, I mean, you could help me on this. Were these sent out to your people?
We sent out the list for the, we didn't send it out for the, I did not send it out.
Okay. I don't want to embarrass your Tea Party, but could I see a show of hands of people who actually called the legislators? Well, our field reps now here, they're going there. In the future, I would suggest that when your Tea Party leadership sends out one of these alerts, that we need to respond, because silence indicates consent, and we need to engage ourselves. So that's one thing. And also, if I may change the subject because it's a party, my wife told me a joke tonight that I'd like to share with you. You don't mind? I hope I get it right. All right. In this classroom, the teacher, she said to the students, all of you who are fans of Obama, raise your hand. And all the little kids, they don't care about politics, but they wanted to be nice to the teacher, so they all raised their hand, except one little boy. And the teacher said to him, Johnny, how come you didn't raise your hand? You're not a fan? Shook his head, and she said, how come? He said, and he thought, he's not into politics. He said, my mommy is a Republican, and my daddy is a Republican. So she said, if your mommy was a moron and your father was an idiot, what would you be? He said, an Obama fan.
That's Sit Down Comedy by Ron Bass.
See, we need that. We need to listen up. Anybody want to do Christmas Carol? One Christmas Carol. Come on, folks. Let's have a party. Come here. Come on up. Yeah, come on up.
Okay, and take a request. What Christmas carol are we going to do?
Can you sing Far and Away?
Far, far away. That's not nice.
I'm joking.
Oh, okay. So John wants to do Silent Night.
I'll do it with you.
This is pitch
In German, the original German though, all right?
Oh, yeah. In Gaelic.
Okay. Silent night. Join in. Holy night. All is calm. All is bright. Round young virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
All right.
All right, now to put a little edge to it again. You all heard about Harry Reid. Yesterday, Harry Reid exempted his whole staff from Obamacare. You know, Harry.
Oh, they're royalty.
But Joellen, did you see the clip that back in September he insisted, oh yes, he and the staff will all be on Obamacare.
Sucker! You believed him.
Show the clip.
All right. Susan's going to put some Christmas music on for us, and enjoy yourselves. Thank you again. Here's to a good 2014. Bring friends.
Especially November coming up.
November coming up.
For election. 24.
Yeah. I did hear, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard Steve Lonigan might be coming back out again. So, yeah. Do you want to add on? Tonight?
Steve Lonigan is going to speak at the Gotham Tea Party. At the Gotham Tea Party, it's the second anniversary dinner in Manhattan. You could go on Gotham Tea Party, I think it's .org. And you could, I believe he is coming back. He can't stay out. A guy like him can't sit on the sidelines. I thought that from the beginning when they first said that, when he first said he wasn't going to be back. But I guess it was just that defeat that got to him. But he's a great man. I met him. We actually, Ron and I met him at the State House, and we took pictures with him. We spoke with him. He's a really a great guy, and he's a very intelligent man, and he's a true conservative. I got to tell you, he's not a phony. What you see is what you get with Steve Lonigan. So hopefully he does come back.
And keep a good man or woman down. All right, folks. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. Be safe. Enjoy yourselves for the rest of the evening. God bless.
Yes.